Hello and welcome. You made it to a great day. Thank you so much for dropping by. The word of the day that I'd like to introduce is introspection, the process of examining one's own thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And the book that I read that inspired that word of the day is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. The author is a psychologist, licensed social worker, teacher, researcher. The genre is self-help. It is a popular book. I've read it over a decade ago. I have reread it. So this is a book, you just take the meat and spit out the bones if you're not familiar with self-help or if it's not your type of genre. I really did appreciate the things that were written here. It's not just straight prose, but there are, she has numbered lists, there are italicized quotes, rhetorical questions, and things of that nature. The book starts off introducing courage, compassion, and connections. And of course, courage, and I'm going to read a few things, just highlight a few chapters so I can talk about my favorite parts here. Courage, which is wholehearted living, which is always really hard, right? It's really difficult. It's not adjusting to what people want us to be or our internal thoughts of what we think people want us to be, thus introspection. So wholehearted living, being courage to be who you are, giving compassion to others, and then connecting, right? It's the gifts of imperfection. That's the title of the book. It goes on to explore the power of love and belonging and poses a question: can we really love others if we don't love ourselves? So that is the question to look at. If we do not like ourselves or who we are, or if we're abusing who we are, or just don't have self-love, can we really show love to our family and friends? And it's a good question, because what's in you comes out of you. Thus the word introspection, to take a look at this today. So that is the question about the power of love and belonging, and if we are actually enough. He goes on to talk about their 10 what she calls guideposts in the book, and I just want to highlight a few things that really helped me, that it stood out to me, this was a reread for me. I think there's it's been out again well over a decade. The number one is Cultivating Authenticity, and she has an entire book in research on authenticity that even, in my opinion, supersedes this book. But it's letting go of what people think and being who you truly are. I know that that's really hard, or it has been to me, because it's difficult to be yourself. Even though we were all created to be unique, we all need to fit into a crowd. We all need to appear like we are, like we belong. Even though we belong with whoever we are, we try to assimilate, and it can be really hard, and it can be an enemy of authenticity if we are forced to assimilate, because it's like you should be smart, but not too smart, not smarter than everyone in the group. I mean, you should answer the question, but not be opinionated. It can be hard. You can be pretty, but not too pretty. You can, have nice things, but not too nice. So just being authentic, and the other way around, right? You can have problems, but not too many problems. Just authenticity, right? Being able to be who you are. So there is a lot to delve in that space. The next word is chapter is self-compassion, letting go of perfectionism, which is also an entire component within itself. Just making sure you let go of the fact that the difference in good and great, and when good is enough, and letting go of perfectionism and having some compassion for yourself, again, so that we can look internal, love ourselves, love those that are with us. Cultivating a resilient spirit, letting go of numbing and powerlessness. I really love that chapter. We all have issues in life, and if not, like my grandmother said, keep living. Keep on living, you will have issues, challenges, and things in life that you'll have to go through. And the cultivating a resilient spirit to get through that, and to push through with grace and dignity and respect, and still keeping your faith intact, is what this chapter is about. That's what I got out of this chapter. Again, it's a book. Take the meat and spit out the bones, right? So you take the good things that apply to you and the things that don't apply or you don't believe, you will not. And if we do that for the books that we read, we can all be better for our family, our friends, and our children and children's children. The next guidepost is cultivating gratitude and joy, letting go of scarcity and fear of the dark. I really like that. The example that she used that I like the most about that is that when everything's going good and you're afraid to say everything's going good because you think by saying it, then something's going to go bad. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be happy that your kids are doing good in school. It's okay to be happy that if things are going well at work, because again, we have created a resilient spirit when things go wrong. So it's okay. So I did love that as well. Cultivating joy and gratitude. I'm very happy for where I am at this time in my life. I'm not afraid to say it. So that is that chapter. Next, cultivating intuition and trusting faith. Letting go of the need for certainty, right? Faith, you cannot touch. Right? So everything is not going to be certain. You must cultivate your faith. I really enjoyed that chapter. The next chapter, cultivating creativity, letting go of comparison. The death of contentment is what? Comparison. And we have learned that in other books and other things as well. So let go of comparison. Be a creative self. Be who you were created to be. And cultivate your creativity. The book goes on about things like being artists, being writers, that type of creativity, but there's other types as well. And you will see that any way you can cultivate it is a great way, because we're all creative in some aspects, because again, we were all created uniquely and differently, and we're authentic, and we're cultivating our resiliency, because bad times will happen, and we are accepting gratitude, and we're not afraid to say thank you and appreciative, and the joy that we're in. We're trusting our faith. Next is cultivating calmness and stillness. This was really good. Letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. And the part of this chapter that really stood out to me is when it was mentioned in the book when parents are yelling at children to sit down. Stop that running. Sit down. Be still. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I've done it. So the best way to cultivate calmness and stillness in children or in anything else around you is to be calm and to be still. Really enjoyed that as well. So that was a lesson for me. It made me smile. Cultivating meaningfulness at work, which is also important, especially if you work someplace that you don't immediately can see the meaningfulness in. You need to find a way to search for that and to find that. And that is the beauty of this chapter. I really like that. It said, let go of self-doubt and supposed to. And also some people have meaningful work that's obvious. I'm just going to bring up things like maybe a teacher, firefighters, public servants. Those type of jobs are meaningful work. But there's sometimes you have to cultivate meaningful work outside of a day job as well. So sometimes it looks like volunteer. Sometimes it looks like serving on a committee. Sometimes it's service in other ways. So there are ways to cultivate meaningful work. And that was the details of that chapter. And cultivating laughter, song, and dance. Letting go of being cool and always in control. Really like that, because laughter is a mechanism that I use to, laughter medicine for the soul. And I could say more, but those words, I don't need to say less. Really enjoyed that as well. So that is the book that inspired the word introspection, The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.